Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. Yeah, I think we'll round off my final video of the day and talk about Doctor Who, like I was going to have today and not do a Doctor Who video. Welcome Doctor Who fans. I believe the future for Doctor Who after Chibnall goes at the end of season 12 are anthology episodes. So what are anthology episodes? Well, actually, Classic Who used to do it really well. You'd have about 3 or 4 episodes and it would just be about one story. So within that story, you'd have cliffhanger endings and the story would continue the next episode. So how could this work with the revival, with New Who? Well, quite simply, what I would like to see, maybe like in April have a 3-episode arc, then in September have a 3-episode arc, depending on how many episodes a year the BBC were willing to put out. So if they're willing to put out 12 episodes a year, you would have a 6-episode story arc in April and a 6-episode story arc in September. And when you release them on Blu-ray or DVD, you put them together as one story, as a movie. That would inspire people to buy them on Blu-ray or DVD a hell of a lot more, and it would get sales back up as well. And the stories are limitless. Because if you do anthology seasons, there's a lot more to play with. Now, some people don't like this idea. Some people like standalone episodes. Some people don't like arcs. But I just think it will be something different. And you're taking something from the classic series. Now, some of you will say, well, that may have worked back in maybe the 70s and 80s, but why would it work now? Well, the concept's interesting because as long as you've got a good story that can stretch from 3 to 6 episodes, it really isn't a problem. Now, the best thing, as a writer, I can tell you this, the way you start a story is that you start kind of low and the energy and the emotion and the stakes just build and build and build until you get into that final episode, which should be totally epic and climactic. I think this would breathe brand new life into Doctor Who. It's been my dream all my life to run Doctor Who and play the Doctor, which is saying that's never going to happen, of course. It's a dream. But, you know, without dreams, where are we in this world? I just think it would be fantastic. I think whoever takes over and whatever the BBC think, because the problem with the BBC, and I've said this in another video, I think one of the reasons they wanted to cancel it after Russell T Davies left is because they have no idea how to run this thing. I've spoken about this before. You need someone in a Godfather role who understands how to run TV shows. So you'd have a series producer underneath, him or her, and then you'd have the kind of Godfather or Godmother, just in case I upset anyone, just overseeing it all. Now, my perfect person to have this Godfather role would be Russell T Davies, but could you persuade him to do it? What that would mean is he wouldn't be the showrunner. He wouldn't have to be there full time. You'd have him like a Kevin Feige figure. He'd be pulling the strings, but the person underneath would have the freedom to construct the story arcs. Russell would be there to kind of have ideas for the franchise, for spin-offs, and make Doctor Who massive again and interesting and exciting. Because no matter, it doesn't matter if you're the biggest Doctor Who season 11 defender, you must admit it was missing something. It didn't pack a punch. You know, forget about the nonsense about the gender and about Jodie and about this and that and too many companions. Ultimately, Chris Chibnall didn't give us anything to get excited about. Anthology episodes in the modern era could be very, very exciting. It's something the revival's never tried before as well. And before we dismiss something, we should give it a chance, because what have we got to lose? Doctor Who is now on its knees. And I mean creatively. It's on its knees creatively. And it's been on its knees for a while. Now, I'm not a Stephen Moffat hater. On the contrary, I've been talking to him about Dracula on Instagram. And it was great because as a creative, he's a very clever man. And what he did with Sherlock was amazing. And it's great to be able to talk to creators you look up to. Now, I don't think everything he did was brilliant, but I must say, as a storyteller, he gave us some fantastic moments in Doctor Who. Now, could anthology series actually work? I think it could. I'd love to be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't give me the opportunity. I've been too outspoken about season 11. I don't pull my punches. And I think as a creative, you've got to be able to know when to keep your mouth shut. So probably that wouldn't be me. But to be honest with you, I think we are at a stage with Doctor Who now where, let's take a gamble. Let's do something a bit exciting. Let's excite the fans again. Now, I definitely think we've lost so many diehards, so many classic members of the fandom. And I'm not necessarily meaning it was because of season 11 or because they cast a female. I think a lot of classic fans left during Stephen Moffat's era, unfortunately. So I think we could get a lot of the fandom back with this kind of anthology storytelling. All you would actually need is a good story, a good premise, and a good setting. And for me, it could ultimately work. But what do you think, fellow Doctor Who fans? Please comment down below. I read all the comments. I don't always have time to react to them, but I will try my best to be a lot better. So like the video, share the video. If you love the channel, share it, spread the word.